how do you prove? How do you prove to the embassy that you have enough financial resources, or what you call sufficient subsistence amount of money to support yourself while in the Schengen area? Because ultimately, if you're applying for this visa, you'll need to show that either through a bank statement, either through anything else, you need to show that you have enough money to support yourself during your visit or your stay in the Schengen area. And the Schengen area, as I told you in another video, is composed of 27 countries. They've been 26, but they've added one country. So there are 26. How do you prove that you have enough money? And in other videos in this channel, I've also done breakdown of how to apply for this kind of Schengen, and what are the things you need to know before you pursue this as a way to get to Europe. Because many of our people, let me say this, we cannot all of us funnel ourselves into applying for visas for one country or two countries in North America, that is Canada and the US. There are other countries which are better in different aspects in Europe. And there are other types of visas which are easier to get and with the better perks, better promises, better benefits for someone, either you are in Africa, you are in Asia, and you want to experience better quality of life, or just visit, maybe for vacation or visiting a friend. And that is why I said everybody needs to know how to prove that you have enough financial resources to visit the Schengen area, which I'm showing in the screen here. It is 27 countries, so you need to prove that, and I'll show you different ways you can do this. So one, and this is the most used, is a personal bank statement. And get this, a personal bank statement. That is your own bank statement with enough money for the last 3 months. For the last 3 months, get that. Print a bank statement which has enough resources. And I told you in the other video that in calculating the amount of money you'll need for this visit, you'll need to know to do because each and every country in the Schengen area has its own requirement, but do a rough estimate of around 48 euros. I said pounds in another video, but those are euros. 48 euros per day. That is the minimum you can show. You need to show in your statement. So do your own math. If you are visiting for 10 days, that should be 480 euros for those days. That is what you need to show in your statement. So there are other ways. You can show proof of financial ability. For example, you are someone who is employed in a company, maybe. You can show this by showing your pay slips, or what we call pay stubs. If you are visiting this region from anywhere in the world, and maybe, for example, you are working for Unilever, you're working for BAT, you're working for any company, or even a government in your home country, carry pay slips, which then again, you need to know that the pay slip, the amount of money you're being paid per month, should be able to cater for you to live in the Schengen area, and even the travel costs from your home country to the Schengen area. So carry with you your employment letter, and also your pay slips for maybe 6 months. You can carry 6 months pay slips. The other way you can demonstrate that you have enough financial resources to visit the Schengen area is by use of a credit card. And a credit card is You can provide it plus other ways. These things these documents or items can be supplied to support each other. So you can supply 2 or 3 together with the visa application form. Sawa sawa. The other thing, don't forget, as I said, you can show your proof of employment, and you can always demonstrate that by showing your employment letter. Let's assume, for example, a sponsor is sponsoring your trip in the Schengen area. The sponsor, if it's your employer or if it's anything else, they should write a letter with the wording that they intend to fund your. They need to show their readiness to cover your expenses during the whole stay in the Schengen area. The other thing you can show, and this is a common one, you can show proof of a flight booking, because the cost of traveling maybe from your home country to the Schengen area is not small amount of money, and that is why I said even the flight booking can be used to show that you have enough financial resources. If you've been able to book a flight, you can also include the tickets, because mostly that will be around tickets. So even if you are traveling from anywhere in the world, in this map, as you can see, you need to demonstrate that you've already booked that flight. I think I have repeated that one. In terms of accommodation, you also need to show that you've already arranged some accommodation, because that is a cost. You can show that you've arranged some accommodation, maybe with a host, or you've already booked an hotel, or you've already booked what we call shared apartment, Airbnb, bookings.com, and such kind of bookings can go a long way in demonstrating that you have enough financial resources, means of subsistence, to live while in the Schengen area. Also, the person who is hosting you can also include their letter indicating that they will be offering financial support for you. They'll be covering some of the cost, but do not depend on this 100% as proof that you have enough financial resources to cater for your stay in the Schengen area. So use this as an additional kind of support while applying for the Schengen visa. Otherwise, I'm doing a series of videos about the Schengen visa, and you just need to go and listen to some of these videos because they are so informative, and I want people to also explore other visa categories, other visa types, apart from just relying on one or two visas types or countries, because it seems like everyone, from where I sit, it seems like everyone is trying to get to US and Canada. And truth be told, not everybody has the means, and not everybody will be able to immigrate to those two countries. There are better opportunities, there are other countries, and there are also those countries you can use them as stepping stone, because as I told you, once you get to the embassy, even the embassies ask whether you've been able to, for example, visit another country outside your continent, maybe outside Africa, if you are listening in from Africa, maybe from Asia. Have you been able to visit any other country? So what I can do, I can say, let me remind you that prepare a good, make sure that your financial statement is good, bank statement, so that at the embassy it becomes smoother. And I told you, these visit visas, as a tourist, or as a visitor of any kind, there are things you can do for yourself, or you engage someone to give you what we call very minimum kind of assistance, as opposed to laying your hopes on agents and brokers. I'm not saying they are bad, but not everybody has the money and the means to pay these businesses. And I told you, VFS Global is there. It does all this work for you, and you pay some very little money, which I told you is like $50 or 5,000 Kenya shillings, thereabout. Depends with the exchange rate. Basically, let's apply for these visas. If you have already gotten your passport, don't let it just stay in your backpack. Allow it to work for you and explore opportunities for you. I'm trying to see whether someone is asking questions, and if you are watching this video later on a replay, make sure that you ask your questions in the comment section, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It's doing this down there, so that you help the channel grow. Also, if you're not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, because that is the currency which we get paid for being here on YouTube. Hi Jackson, before applying for a Schengen visa, tourist visa, do I have to take my documents for attestation at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs? Yes, it's important to take your document for attestation, so that you don't do the back and forth, which is common. Sawa, thank you very much. I'll be answering questions from people who watch this video later. Thank you, Jacinta. Thank you, everybody who is back there listening to this video. I'm planning to do a lot of informative videos about the Schengen visa before I embark on other visas which our people can explore and apply for different things abroad. Let's not forget, I'm also helping our students get study visas for US and Canada, and not per se get visas, but get financing, get funding for their study in US and Canada. And I'm always leaving links on the description of my video, so you can go ahead and check which one is a good fit for you. If you're a student, if you are someone who is looking for jobs, I'm always leaving links. Don't pay money to anyone asking you in the comment section, because scammers are taking advantage. Thank you very much, and have yourself a good evening, a good day. We'll meet in another video. You can check another video here, which I'll attach later on.